Hey crypto fans, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today guys, I'm going to give you some super valuable tips for beginners that will ultimately help you decide, which coins are best for maximum gains in the future. So guys, if you are brand new to the channel and this is the first video of mine you've ever seen and you think you might enjoy the content that I create in the future, then go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel guys and give this video a thumbs up because it helps me out, why not, right? And also guys, go ahead and feel free to follow me on Twitter here as well if you would like. But we're just going to dive right in and get right into this video, you guys. So ultimately, you guys, there's really not much here I'm going to be showing you actually on the computer or anything like that. It's going to be more or less me just talking and kind of, me giving my overall general opinion about things here. I'm going to be giving you some tips here. So overall here, you guys, if you guys are new to crypto, you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the many different cryptocurrencies that are available today. All right. I mean, look at this, you guys. I mean, we've got all kinds of different cryptocurrencies. As we can see here, the number of cryptocurrencies there are is currently 19,222 at the time of me filming this video right now. Okay, guys. And some of these cryptocurrencies, you guys, some of them have, literally been exploding in value, but yet some of them seem to crash on a pretty constant basis as well. So, however, guys, in the midst of all this madness, you've probably got people coming at you from all sides of the, you probably have people at some point in time coming at you from all different sides, pretty much trying to tell you, how you should invest your money and where you should invest your money too in the crypto market. And, they're probably fueling your expectations for, future financial freedom as well. Now, guys, if you guys are already holding crypto or tokens, then you might be second guessing your current holdings right now. But if you haven't even bought any yet, then you might be trying to figure out where to even begin with at this point. And that's okay. So guys, if you are brand new to crypto or even somewhat new, then the tips that I'm going to be giving you today will definitely help, to make sure that you don't get lost in the market. Okay, guys? So just like every single financial market out there, you guys, the crypto market has its own cycle, okay? And this is something you really have to pay attention to here. It's got its own cycle, and this cycle lasts about 4 years, you guys. And it seems to be caused simply by the Bitcoin halving, which, usually occurs about every 4 years, which is pretty much where the amount of Bitcoin, that's being mined from each block is pretty much cut in half, okay? And assuming that demand stays the same, this 50% reduction in supply ultimately leads to a 2x increase in the price of Bitcoin, which is why we have all of these crazy price swings pretty much every 4 years, it seems, pretty much every time it cycles through this 4-year cycle. However, you guys, the demand for Bitcoin has been gradually increasing over time, and its impressive price action, compared to other asset classes, only drives more demand and adoption for Bitcoin in general, you guys. Overall, you guys, this is basically why Bitcoin went up almost 10x and, not just 2x, since the most recent halving took place in May, 2 years ago. Now, historically, you guys, the peak of each crypto market cycle has pretty much taken place about a year and a half after the Bitcoin halving, which pretty much explains why the top of the most recent 4-year cycle was, pretty much near the end of 2021. If we take a look at this here, we will see that. So pretty much the halving happened, let's see here, that would have been right about here, May of 2020, somewhere around there. And as you guys can see here, we've got this cycle where pretty much, the end of, let's see here, the end of 2021, as you guys can see here, that's pretty much where the end of this bull cycle pretty much happened, exactly like I just explained, right around towards the end of 2021. So guys, most importantly though, you should know that, altcoins also follow a slightly different cycle than Bitcoin as well. Almost every crypto on the market is highly correlated to Bitcoin though, which pretty much means that when Bitcoin rises, most other cryptos usually rise with it, you guys. And guys, when BTC drops, or Bitcoin, when Bitcoin drops, all of these same coins, they also drop with it, okay? Which kind of sucks, but we got to deal with it. There's really nothing else we can really, we got to deal with it. We got to eat it. Anyway, guys, this correlation isn't always it's really not all that apparent when Bitcoin is going up though. And this is pretty much because, the positive price action of most altcoins pretty much tends to lag behind Bitcoin and move upwards when the price of Bitcoin, has been steady for a few hours, days, or even weeks or something like that. Now, guys, during these periods, Bitcoin's dominance usually drops. As we can see here, you guys, Bitcoin's dominance is currently at 42.5% at the time of me filming this right now. But as I was just saying, you guys, Bitcoin's dominance, it usually ends up dropping, which ultimately means that the money is moving from Bitcoin into all the other altcoins within the market, which is pretty much why what we see when all these other coins skyrocket to new heights. So usually when you start seeing a bunch of coins start to, skyrocket to new heights, it's usually because, as I just said, people are taking their money out of Bitcoin after it's, after it has reached an all-time high. They're taking it out of Bitcoin and putting it into a bunch of altcoins and riding those waves to new heights as well. Now, guys, in order to get the types of gains that you're looking for in the crypto market, you'll simply need to learn, you simply need to learn how to measure the risk and reward associated with, pretty much each individual cryptocurrency that you're considering on buying, okay? Now, guys, if you are a beginner, you probably won't be wanting to take on much risk. Obviously, that's pretty standard, which means you'll ultimately want to stick with coins and tokens that carry a low risk instead of a high risk, okay, guys? Now, overall here, Bitcoin has been around, Bitcoin has been around for about 12 or 13 years now already, and it's pretty much, had continuous growth, which is, and significant adoption as well, which is pretty great. Now, guys, in terms of risk, investing in Bitcoin, is probably not far off from investing into like the Tesla stock, especially now that Tesla holds billions of dollars in Bitcoin. However, guys, both Bitcoin and Tesla stock are still on the deeper end of the risk pool here. Okay, guys. Now, even though cryptocurrencies in general are a risky investment, there are radically different degrees of risk and reward in the crypto market. For example, you guys, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that I would personally consider to be low risk, low reward, okay? And what I mean by this, you guys, is that Bitcoin could go up by another 50 to 100%, in the next bull market, and possibly pull another 5 to 10x within the next 10 years as well. I mean, honestly, it could. However, guys, with gains like this, it's still magnitudes more than just about any other investment class on the planet. So it's nothing to skimp on, honestly, and something you'll definitely need to keep in mind before you complain about these kinds of returns, okay? Because again, guys, these are still, even though they're not as much as, the 100x's out there, they're still a lot more than any other asset class out there. Now, guys, another cryptocurrency that falls into this low risk, category is a coin called Monero. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Monero, this is the reason why is because XMR, which is Monero's, ticker symbol here, XMR. It's because XMR offers the best privacy features of pretty much any cryptocurrency on the market, and has pretty much, stood the test of time like Bitcoin has, and not even the U.S. government has the ability to crack its code. And the project has also continued to improve its privacy features and protect its network from minor centralization as well, which is awesome, you guys. Now, guys, the biggest downside here to buying Monero's XMR token is that their token seems to be getting delisted from exchanges, or did in the past, which is pretty much why I consider it to be a, low reward crypto in comparison to other promising cryptocurrencies with smaller market caps than Bitcoin. However, you guys, thankfully, it seems like most of the exchanges that were planning on delisting XMR have already done so already. And in addition, you guys, projects such as Thorchain, they've built, their projects like ThorSwap, or they've built, they've built dApps like ThorSwap. And the reason why they've built decentralized exchanges like that is because they want to be able to make it possible to trade cryptocurrencies between different blockchains in pretty much a trustless manner. And what's great about this is, you guys, is Monero is one of the privacy coins that Thorchain's DEX, or ThorSwap, will eventually support, or wants to eventually support, which is awesome, you guys. And once it goes live, I mean, there's really nothing that anybody's going to be able to do to be able to stop people from trading XMR for Bitcoin or any other popular crypto, you guys. And for these reasons, you guys, I personally think that XMR will be around for quite some time, and its price could easily go up by the same percentage as Bitcoin in the long-term future as well, simply because of this, you guys. Overall, you guys, people love privacy. They want their privacy, and, XMR and a coin like Monero, it's going to be sticking around. It's whether we like it or not. So guys, now we're going to move on to the different category, or to the next category of coins, okay? So now guys, we're going to move on to medium risk, medium reward cryptos, okay? Which I would consider to be like the smart contract type cryptos, okay? Smart contract, let me get there real quick. Let's see here, smart contract cryptos. Oh, let me get here real quick. Let's go categories, name. Let me get to the smart contract ones. Go all the way down to the S. Okay, smart contracts. Okay, so guys, I would consider medium risk, medium reward cryptos to be like smart contract type cryptos, such as like, your Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Solana, Cosmos, Kusama, just to name a few. There's many more, but those are just to name a few. Now, guys, many people seem to think that these smart contract coins will someday overtake Bitcoin as the largest cryptocurrency by market cap. And it's easy to see why, because these smart contract blockchains, they make it possible to build the free future of, finance pretty much that was envisioned by Satoshi Nakamoto and all of the cyberpunks that, came before him and whatnot. So guys, just to give you an example of, what's all involved in these smart contract blockchains, we've got products being built for, like lending and borrowing, NFT art, virtual worlds, blockchain domains that can't be censored or taken down, and we've even got digital identities that actually preserve privacy and decentralized content platforms like Audius, for example. We've got, decentralized content platforms that will ultimately end up toppling centralized monopolies like, Spotify and Facebook in the long-term future, you guys. So this is really cool to see, honestly. Now, all of this, you guys, all of this and more has been built on smart contract blockchains, mostly Ethereum, honestly, to be brutally honest with you. But that's because, Ethereum has been around for, more than any of the other smart contract more than any of the other smart contract projects. However, guys, here's the thing. Here's the biggest issue with that, though, is there's no the biggest problem here is there's no telling which smart contract crypto will be the biggest in the long-term future, which is why this gives smart contract cryptos pretty much a medium risk designation in my book overall. And guys, this risk is pretty much reduced if you have positions in all of the top smart contract cryptos as well. So what I'm talking about here is, let's say you've got $100 to invest. Okay, you're going to invest $10 in Ethereum. You're going to invest $10 in Ethereum, $100 to invest. You got $10 in Ethereum, 10 in BNB, 10 in Cardano, 10 in Avalanche, 10 in Chainlinks, 10 in Algorand. You're gonna have 10 in Tezos. You're just gonna you get the point that I'm trying to make here. You're gonna have 10 in all different types. You're gonna be diversified into all the different smart contract projects instead of just one or two or three. However, guys, keep in mind that if that reduction in risk will also end up ultimately reducing the medium reward as well, which I would say is roughly maybe 2 to 5x for coins like Ethereum and Cardano, and possibly a little more for Kusama, maybe. I don't know. And also, guys, smart contract coins, they aren't the only class of medium risk reward, medium risk, medium reward cryptos either. Honestly, I would personally also like to say that I personally think that, like exchange tokens carry about a similar amount of risk as well, amount of risk and reward as well. And guys, these coins include tokens like, Binance's BNB token, FTX's token, Huobi Global's token, KuCoin's token, and, Gate.io's token. I think they have a token, and many others as well. But, your typical exchange tokens. And guys, these cryptos are simply designed, the exchange tokens are simply designed to simply go up in value. But they're also centrally, a lot of them are also centrally controlled, which is where the risk comes into play here, you guys. However, I highly doubt that any of these coins will be going out of business anytime soon. In fact, guys, the more trading volume that these exchanges experience, the more money they allocate towards the buyback and burn of their respective coins or tokens as well. So that's kind of cool, I guess, right? Now, guys, thanks to the most recent bull market that we recently had, exchanges have literally set records of, record levels of trading volume, and will probably honestly continue to do so in the future as well, which is ultimately why we've seen the rise of exchange tokens over this last recent bull run, you guys. And in some cases, you could actually even see where the buybacks and burns, actually happened along the way as well, which is pretty cool. In addition, you guys, some of these exchanges, have been building their own DeFi ecosystems. Most notably would be Binance, pretty much. But besides driving its millions of users to its DeFi ecosystem, you guys, places like Binance, they're actually providing funding and liquidity to many of the projects that are building on the Binance Smart Chain, which pretty much creates, a perfect catalyst for, some absolutely serious adoption, you guys, which is ultimately, what we've seen with the Binance Smart Chain and, are starting to see with FTX and its spin-off DeFi ecosystem and, being built on Solana and whatnot. So as you guys can see here, these coins are definitely growing long term. So it's pretty cool to see overall. But overall here, you guys, exchange tokens could easily eventually see another 5 to 10x in the long-term future, without a doubt. So guys, now we're going to move on to the next category, okay? I know I'm going kind of fast here, but, that's because I like to talk fast and kind of get things done, so I apologize there. But we're going to move on to the next category here, which is the one that I personally pay the most attention to, you guys, which are the medium risk but high reward cryptos, okay? Now, guys, these cryptocurrencies meet the following criteria, which is, pretty much a market cap of at least a few $100 million with good exchange support and an ample amount of trading volume, okay? In addition, you guys, they got to have a real world use case, or one that, solves a real world problem, and the use case is, easy for the average person to understand pretty much. And they can see what, they can easily see where the value is too. And lastly, you guys, the project also has to have a functioning product that has seen some decent adoption and has seen, has some good tokenomics as well. I mean, here's the thing, you guys, with a lot of these projects, okay? I cannot stress enough as to how important it is for these projects to have a functioning product, okay? That is the big key thing here, because without the product, there's no project. You can't trust a project without their product even being launched. I mean, you just can't. And if you do, then you're pretty much gambling at that point, and it's really not worth it. But overall here, you guys, in my experience, cryptocurrencies that meet these criteria that I just listed off, they usually see growth of anywhere between 10 to 20x within a year or less of launching. And the overall goal here is, you guys, is to get in on these coins before they take off for the very first time, okay? So now, guys, we're going to move on to the very last and final category of this video, which are the high risk, high reward cryptos, okay, guys? Which these cryptos can easily offer returns of 100x or even more in a matter of weeks or months, you guys. We've all seen it before. However, guys, finding these coins or tokens is literally extremely hard. It's literally like a needle in a haystack. And, here's the thing here, you guys. I mean, investing in them carries the same risk as, it's the same risk as investing into Bitcoin back in the early days. It's literally all or nothing with these types of coins. I mean, it really is here, you guys. But you can really make a lot on them, to be honest with you. But here's a pro tip, though, okay? If you ever hear about a 100x coin on a YouTube channel somewhere or something, it pretty much means that you're either late to the party or you're going to end up getting dumped on and lose money. So guys, my biggest tip here is don't listen to YouTubers that try to talk you into buying random coins, because it's simply not worth it. That's why on my channel here, you guys, I do not ever tell you guys that you should buy this coin or that coin or that coin or that coin, okay? I always make sure that you guys, I always try to convey that you guys should be doing your own research and to make sure that, you guys are buying into projects that you personally like and enjoy, okay? Instead, guys, the best place, now we're going to talk about, where you can buy these types of coins, okay? So guys, the best places where you can buy these types of spicy coins, I guess you could say, and tokens are pretty much, you're going to find them in up-and-coming DeFi ecosystems, such as the Binance Smart Chain. And besides, Binance DeFi, there's also DeFi ecosystems right for the picking, on Polkadot and Cardano as well, for instance. In addition, you guys, there's even a few promising projects that pop up in Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem from time to time as well. However, you guys, the problem with this form of phishing, because that's pretty much what you're doing, is you're literally just phishing for the, what you think is going to be the right project. But the problem with this kind of phishing, you guys, is that experienced traders and bots, they know how to read blockchains, and they're able to follow these tokens from the very moment that they're minted, you guys. So basically, what they do is they wait to see if newly minted tokens are being bought by wallets who are, pretty much known for, they're known to belong to famous people in the crypto space, and then they buy in as early as possible, and sometimes it's even, before the majority of people like you and I are able to find out about it. So basically, you guys, when people like you and I go crazy over buying this 100x altcoin, these pro traders and bots, they dump their positions on us like a bunch of psychopaths pretty much. So that pretty much sucks. So that's why I say it is extremely hard to be able to get in on these early projects early like that. But guys, this is ultimately why you might be better off hunting for good ICOs and IGOs, okay? And what I mean by ICOs and IGOs is initial coin offerings and initial gaming offerings. Now, guys, if you're looking for a potential 100x return, and assuming that, you're in a country that doesn't have strict securities regulations, of course, you can research these upcoming ICOs and IGOs using ICO drops and altcoinrank.io. I'll show you that in a minute here. So we will go to ICO drops. All right, we'll go to ICO drops, and then we'll just stay here at ICO drops. So as you guys can see here, these are all the active ICOs that are currently going on right now, and then these are some upcoming ICOs, and these are ICOs that recently ended. So if you want to find information on ICOs and you want to potentially buy into them, come here and check them out. I'll be doing videos in the future on, more ICO type stuff and, buying ICOs and how you can find different ICOs and stuff like that. So if you're into videos like that or you want to learn more about ICOs in the future, then if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't end up missing, those videos in the future. But ideally, you guys, the coin or token that's being sold here as an ICO should definitely be native to the blockchain of the project, and you want to make sure that at least 20% of the initial supply should be sold during the ICO as well. And you got to make sure that they have a very strict vesting schedule for the team and private investors as well. Those are pretty much the things that you need to look out for with these ICOs, and those are pretty much the ones that you want to buy into, you guys. A good example of this would be, let's see here. I remember last year there was one for Casper. Let me see if they still got it up here. Yep, they do. Okay, so obviously, you guys, last year, okay, so there's a token called Casper, okay? A good example of this would be last year's Casper ICO, okay? Casper's native CSPR token, I mean, it was sold via CoinList for anywhere between 1.5 to 3 cents, depending on the lockup period. But think about that, you guys. Casper was selling for 1.5 to 3 cents, okay? 1.5 to 3 cents, okay? In addition, you guys, 40% of CSPR's initial supply was also sold during the ICO as well. And pretty much all CSPR tokens, all of these CSPR tokens allocated to the team and private investors, they all have lengthy vesting schedules as well, meaning pretty much what this means is that there is no risk of, dumping the coin pretty much. Now, guys, just to put all this into a nice example here, soon after this ICO, the Casper token started to trade at the price of $6, you guys. Okay, so you bought it for 1.5 to 3 cents as an ICO or in the ICO, and then when it started to trade publicly, it started trading at $6, you guys, which was a 200x more return than the 3-cent ICO price that I was mentioning before. You literally went up 200x just from the ICO to it going public pretty much. So as you guys can clearly see here, you guys, investing in good quality ICOs can definitely be lucrative. But guys, don't get too excited because ICOs like these are literally damn near impossible to participate in, you guys. For example, there were over 170,000 people in the online waiting room before the Casper token sale actually began, you guys. So overall here, you guys, with all of this crazy crypto craziness going on these days, you guys, I personally think it's more important than ever to remember to take a step back and look at the bigger picture because, guys, the crypto market is still quite new, and honestly, you guys, it's still got an enormous amount of growth ahead of it. I mean, it really does, you guys. Now, honestly, guys, on a final note here, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or some other altcoin, guys, the chances are you'll eventually make some decent money in the crypto market. I mean, you really will. As long as you remember to take profits while you're in the green, and although you guys, although you may not become a billionaire like Binance's CZ, the potential to make the capital that you need to be financially free, I mean, it definitely exists in cryptocurrency, you guys, and it's definitely yours for the taking. So overall, you guys here, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, before you guys leave, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a new crypto and altcoin video from me on a regular basis. And hey, guys, with that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos or chatting with me here on Twitter.